is Nuriel Abdenur, and I'm the music specialist. This is going to be my third year, although for the past 2 years I was doing kindergarten through 8th grade. This year I'm going to add on the pre-kindergarten kiddos, which I'm looking forward to. And looking forward to being here a little bit more time than last year. I love running the gamut from the little ones to the middle schoolers and seeing year to year how something we started last year getting to progress through the years. I love having Mr. Blakely as my neighbor. We have a good time. I love the sense of community. It's a great place. The first place that comes to mind is Argentina because that's where I grew up. And other than my parents, that's where the rest of my extended family is. And especially in the current context, I haven't been able to visit in a couple of years. And I'm really dying to go see my grandma. So I think I'd go there. When I think of my happy place, I often don't really think of a specific place, but more of a moment. And this past weekend, actually, I got to go paddleboarding in a lake called Little Long Lake, which is just adorable, very aptly named. And it was really windy, so I got to paddle upwind at the beginning and then just float back down the lake on the way back. And it was the perfect combination of activity and inactivity. And then I just laid there and floated back, and it was my happy place. I remember as a child being called a koala, but I think that was an aesthetic question with the round face situation. I've One of my nearest and dearest compliments I've ever received was a classmate told me that I was her spirit animal, which brought me inexplicable joy. My idea of fun involves a lot of singing songs to my dog and changing the lyrics to be about my dog. There's a lot of that going on in my house. Dancing around and jamming out. Obviously, I enjoy making music. I don't love the term bucket list. I want to come up with something a little bit less morbid. But there are things that I consider to be like on my bucket list, for lack of a better term. One of those things is to travel to the 5 continents. I don't think it's particularly realistic for me to say travel to every country, although I'd like to do a little bit more than just touch the 5 continents, like just get a little bit, dig a little deeper than that. So travel is definitely up there. I didn't consider myself a particularly big, like, adrenaline junkie or risk taker, but in context of my husband, I guess I am. Like, I had to really convince him to go zip lining on our honeymoon. I've done, I guess it's not skydiving, hang gliding. Hang gliding, you jump off a cliff and have like a big parachute. Yeah, I think travel would be at the top of that list. The first person who comes to mind was a choir teacher that I had probably starting sophomore year of high school. And with a caveat, I was in art school. So my choir teacher was somebody who I saw multiple days a week. And she's actually the one who pushed me probably into teaching a little bit because she gave me the opportunity to TA the choir as a senior, the middle school choir as a senior myself. Um, so she has a special place in my heart because of that, and is somebody who I just kept in touch with after graduation for several years. The first thing that came to mind is what I've been telling myself when I feel anxious, which is it can't be worse than last year. When I think about all of the unknowns that, I think ending last year, it felt so hopeful that everything was going to be normal. And I think it's become pretty clear that this year is not going to be as normal as we hoped it was. It can't be worse than last year. Things are better. That's the first thing that came to mind. And conversely, to put a positive spin on that, I think about what my dad's been saying this whole year, which is with every challenge comes an opportunity. And I think that it's important to both honor the fact that this is a challenge and it's okay to feel overwhelmed by it, to still know, as Mr. Barry has been saying, yes, this is hard and we can do hard things.